Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Daniel Hood Roofing. Folks, if you're looking to put a quality roof on your home to protect your family, your belongings, that's what Daniel Hood Roofing is all about. Ask for a free estimate. Take a look at all the testimonials on their site. Their website can do both. Ask for the free estimate and look at all the responses from their happy clients, and they are legion. There's tons of them. DanielHoodRoofing.com to learn more. Call them today. As I say every Sunday, operators are standing by. Daniel Hood Roofing. Okay, Tennessee and Tony Vitello had a history with yesterday's ump. He actually, a couple of those guys yesterday.
True.
Worked the College World Series game.
Yeah.
All right, against Texas, I believe. But are they playing with fire with all of the antics? I mean, and here's what I'm getting at. They do the T-shirts that, villain stuff, and everybody is playing that up, that we love this. Heck yeah, we'll stick it in your face. But if you get an ump who's a drill sergeant, and he says, well, I'm going to stick this in your face. When you're up here to bat, your strike zone is now this wide. And when you're on the mound,
it's
the other way. You saw an ump last night tell them, don't bring the fur coat on the field. Because the home run celebration, they bring out a fur coat that they put on people, which everyone here would love if Georgia did that. But anyway, you had an ump that said that, which I don't know that that's in the rule. No fur in the rule book, no fur coats. But you had an ump step out there and say it. So my question is, are you playing with fire a little bit? That if you want to be the villain, sometimes you're going to get treated like a villain. And if you're in Omaha, big game, and you get the wrong ump, are you concerned about that, Vince?
Well, first of all, with the fur coat thing, he changed what he was saying. He told him no fur coat at first. Then he said, well, just not on the field.
So you can keep your fur coat in the dugout.
So there was a confusion. So what's your stance?
But that's still, you're stepping in to make a ruling, a preventative ruling on a fur coat.
Right. I do think
it's in their heads.
He thought it was too hot to wear the fur coat.
That's it.
Player safety
Player
issue.
safety. Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
I do think they have some sort of wiggle room if they think something that a team is doing that will incite or add to the tension. I think they can do things like that. It's silly, but they did it. As far as whether it impacts them, look, can it happen? There's humans, yes, but the umpires every single half inning were warning and telling Tennessee, hey, calm your guys down. And that didn't bother Tennessee in the game. They continued to roll and win that game. So everything that happened in the first inning, yes, you lose your coach, your pitching coach, starting pitcher. Everything is working against you. You can say the ump is against you. They still won the game. I don't think that this team is bothered by that. I think they just have to be a little bit better, like in the Tennessee game, to adjust to maybe expanded strike zone or strike zone, things like that. But to me, I think it fuels them and it has much more of a benefit than maybe that one situation where you go up against the wrong guy.
You and I are totally different in terms of worry. I am a natural worrier. So if any of my teams were doing this, I'd be
John, isn't there
you're taunting the baseball gods or the umpiring gods or the referee. I mean, I've had players on my favorite football team who have a reputation as a headhunter. They'd get flagged for things other guys wouldn't get flagged for. The other guy makes the same hit, they don't get flagged for it because they don't have that reputation. There are guys in basketball who, they'll be quicker to call a foul on this guy because of his reputation as opposed to this guy who never gets in trouble. We've seen that down through the ages in sports. I just wonder if it could burn them at some point.
To that point, in my opinion, of all the sports that I watch, the most confrontational referees or umpires are in baseball. It's in the major leagues. I think it's filtered down to college. You don't see that confrontation in football, basketball, and other sports. That, to me, would be a little bit of a concern if you get to a College World Series or somewhere down the line and you got an umpire that's got an axe to grind with.
That is a terrific point because when in football or basketball do you see it's part of the game that when we're really ticked off, we chest bump each other. Like you saw yesterday. Can you imagine Josh Heupel going out and chest bumping an official on the
I
football
can
field.
now, and it's hilarious. But yes,
I mean, Rick Barnes getting into it. I mean, it is part of that. That's an interesting point.
And I wonder, John, even sometimes it's like after an extra base hit, there's a little kind of celebration or doing something. And Tony Vitale was all the time saying, Vincent was playing loose, focused, and with a little bit of swagger. Yeah. And I think the little bit of swagger has gotten a little bit over the top. I really do. I think you can tone it down some. It's one thing to have that when you're working your way up, but when you're ranked number 1 in the country, act like you've been there, right?
But sports is entertainment. Like this is not a religious ceremony or something where we have to be like very like solemn or somber or whatever. It's entertainment.
I like to taunt when I go to
Exactly.
I usually duck walk down the aisle.
But like so
Preacher was
for me, like as somebody, listen, I didn't grow up watching a ton of baseball. The unwritten rules stuff, he bunted, up 9 or whatever.
Right.
Like that stuff is totally lost on me. Like ultimately, get the umps who don't want fur coats out of here. I want an ump providing fur coats to all the teams. Like it's entertainment.
No.
It's entertainment. I want it to be fun. I want it to be an entertaining.
Well, that's
television
what's
experience.
wrestling. What's
where's
wr's
the line on that?
There is no line.
Let's give them switchblades.
Well, it's not switchblades, but
you said there's no line.
But like in Japan, they bring out like the relief pitchers with like WWE entrances. Why do we not want to do this? It's entertainment. It's sports. It's supposed to be
Well,
fun.
there's entertainment and there's being unsportsmanlike, and to me there is a line.
And
I don't.
You don't
the
see a
line.
line
The
at all,
line
but
is
I do.
way
If I'm
beyond the
competing
first.
against
Yeah, but
somebody
you're
like
always
that,
looking
I'm
for a
not-
good
I'm not
story,
happy about it.
And I'm going to replace the fur
I'm
coat with a
looking for a good-
Tennessee tuxedo.
Do you guys remember how many
not
flags
playing.
Miami used to get?
Yes,
with
and
football?
that's along the
that
same.
Cotton Bowl where against it was
Yeah, like-
A&M where it was just flag.
Had about 18 or 20 of them.
Yeah, they got flagged constantly. The Raiders, for years in the NFL, they led the league every year in flags, and we can say, well, they won anyway. Well, they might have won more if you didn't have. How many Super Bowls did they not win because they got flags at the wrong time? That's my only concern. If you get the reputation of, that's right, we're going to stick it in your face, and you get some guy that says, you know what, I'm an ump, and I'm supposed to be playing it down the middle, but I can do it my own way. I'm going to stick it to you. I think that's dangerous. I think you're asking for it. I'm not saying to cut it all out. I'm just saying that is the downside, possible downside to this. And as Chuck said going to break, you saw it last night.
Yeah.
You got a taste of it.
Maybe
last
get
night.
those umps out of here, though. If you're gonna change the way that
okay.
you umpire based on how a team acts, that's insane.
But humans do that.
I know they do. I agree. But if it's clear and if an objective observer can say your strike zone's changing, the way that you're officiating or managing this changes based on who is there or how much antics they have, that is like ridiculous to me. Yeah. It's entertainment. It's a television show.
Well, let's get rid of the media that's not objective. Oh, wait a minute. We wouldn't have any of us left.
One final thing. I think we're mislabeling what Tennessee is doing. I don't view it as taunting.
You think I'm mislabeling it?
Well, yeah, okay. And if that's the case, that's the case.
Yeah.
I think it is showing swagger and celebration. And you see a lot of teams at second base, back to their dugout, doing different things, doing different gestures. You see guys that umpires may interpret as showing them up while they start to walk to first when they think they've gotten ball 4, and then they scream at the umpire afterwards. So there's a lot of this happening. Tennessee just has a little bit ways of doing it, and people have paid more attention because they're the number 1 team. I don't think it's taunting. I think it is them enjoying the moment, and yeah, you're going to rub some people the wrong way.
Did Tennessee folks get upset that Alabama celebrated too much after their win on Friday? Did you have Tennessee players say that after the game?
Will Mabry mention that, yeah.
Yes.
So he took that as kind of taunting, celebrating after a victory. It's all taunting is in the eye of the beholder, Vince.
Yeah, especially after a home run. I think that's what they were talking about
Winners
too.
taunt.
Well, you
I'm
come
sorry.
out of the.
Winners
No,
taunt.
not all winners taunt.
The entertaining ones do.
You're just looking for a good story.
I'm completely different on you.
I'll stay with the no fun league. You can go watch the XFL. That's the difference between the two of us. I'm not. You couldn't pay me. This is another difference. Couldn't pay me to watch WWE. Couldn't do it. But there are other people who love it.
I don't know. Bianca Blair's pretty good.
Okay, there you go. All right, when we come back, just got to throw a plug for somebody. All right, when we come back, not a great start to the offseason for UT basketball. Did you see where Brandon Huntley Hatfield who he had on his list of potential transfers? You can guess. We'll talk about it next. Come on back.